Hi everyone, and this video clip I just want to discuss with you on the topic blue aquaculture in greenways. And you all must be knowing now world over aquaculture countries are talking about ecological aquaculture. What is ecological aquaculture? And eco-friendly aquaculture. So it is not only the focus that we need to produce more to achieve blue revolution. At the same time, we need to do aquaculture in a green ways, in green systems. So that is equally important, so that we can take aquaculture for a longer duration. And as far as our production is concerned, we all know that India has a very high production next to China. And however, we need to do a lot in aquaculture. We have such a good and large resources. We need to utilize them effectively so that this green technology can be used effectively in aquaculture to achieve blue revolution. And one aspect which you need to focus on when we talk about eco-friendly aquaculture is the feed, supplementary feed or pelleted feed, which we largely use in our aquaculture systems. So we can't refuse the fact that these feeds, the pelleted feeds or the similar supplementary feeds, have revolutionized aquaculture world over. But now there is a serious concern about the utilization, because the feed which we are using is not going to be utilized fully by the fishes. For example, the global fish production is almost like 179 million metric tons, and almost close to 70 million tons of feed which we are using world over. So it means like if the conversion is 1:2 or 1:1.5, something like that, it's more than 40 to 45% of the feed which we are using goes as a waste. Means it goes into the aquatic system, water body, as well as into the soil. So it's time we need to introspect our thinking in those areas, how we can control the wastage of feed in such aquaculture system. We have to reduce the feed utilization by appropriately changing our aquaculture practices. And the scientist Saglos in his recent papers who has worked on Chinese aquaculture systems has revealed that introduction of IMTA, integrated multi-trophic aquaculture system, we all must be knowing the last 2 decades is very popular in China, in many countries, even in India. It is in a kind of preliminary stages or in a research stages, both in freshwater and the marine side. Here we are using Finfish culture in cages along with oyster culture or molluscan culture, scallops, and the seaweeds. So they together, this integration helps in bioremediating the coastal water bodies. This is the very clear understanding that by using this extractive species, we should be able to control the wastage very much, instead of using fed species largely in aquaculture. Of course, we cannot avoid using fed species, using pelleted feed, but it's time we need to reduce the fed species aquaculture practices in our country. And again, the water which we are using is enormous. For example, when we are using shrimp aquaculture, and then almost shrimp aquaculture requires to produce 1 kg, we may require almost like 25 to 30 tons of water. So it means like a large quantum of water gets into the environment. After the shrimp harvest, the used water from the system will be released back into the natural waters. Could be like a sea or in the riverine system or into the creeks and canals. So there is every possibility these water sources as well as the soil gets polluted. So how to control this feed induced pollution in aquaculture system? The one way of doing a species, instead of fed species, we need to focus mainly on extractive species like molluscan and seaweeds. We have done plenty of work, CMFRI particularly the last 2-3 decades. A number of seaweeds have been identified, indigenous, or otherwise we can even import certain good quality seaweeds, no harm, without affecting the water quality, because this helps in bioremediating the coastal water bodies. And there is always hue and cry of the seaweed aquaculture in the country, and people talk about it polluting the coastal water bodies, but it has been proved like, and they are doing a bioremediation impact in the coastal water body. This we need to keep it in mind. And then the selection of system is very, very important. Instead of doing fed aquaculture using large quantum of feed, and in India now we are almost using 30 lakhs tons of feed, then at the rate of 40-50% of waste, you can imagine the quantum of feed that goes into as pollution into the soil and the water. So in terms of species, for example, biofloc system is one where reduced feed is used, because we are inducing a natural productivity, heterotrophic bacteria and other things, microbes, and thus the biofloc system helps. Similarly, race-based system, it also works on the principles of producing algae and microbes into the system. And then of course now many Asian countries, they are adopting aquamimicry system. So it's time we have to think about all these species, all these kind of systems, innovative systems, to reduce the quantum of feed. So these are the points which I am throwing into the sector for the scientists, the aquaculturists and the policymakers to analyze and to do an introspection, so that we can plan our aquaculture practices effectively, eco-friendly, so that through ecological aquaculture we can pursue a path of success in the years to come. Thank you so much.